I'm back. Hello. What's good? I got bags under my eyes because your girl's been deep in the parenting trenches, deep in the research, deep in entrepreneurship. And now I'm back. And I'm settled. A tinge. So I wanted to come back up on here because honestly, I feel as though I was really avoiding popping back on here because I did not continue the ACEs series with y'all. Let me just say that I'm still researching, I'm still writing, I'm still creating. I just haven't uploaded it and placed it on digital platform. And I want to give myself the flexibility and the creativity to say, you know what, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. I don't have the bandwidth for it. And honestly, going back and looking at my videos, it just feels very robotic. Now, naturally, I'm sure I will make mention of all things trauma, developmental trauma, as I'm just talking and conversing and living and exploring. But to sit here and write a full video essay in this phase of my life is putting quite much on my plate. And what I would rather use this space for is just to use it as I see fit. I don't even want to say I'm going to use this space as a means of just free open dialogue. I may not even feel like it. If you see how I started doing yoga, who knows? This channel will be for whatever Drew needs it to be for in the moment. And if you're rocking with me, or if you came to my channel off of the video essay, you can check out my research by going onto Google Scholar. I upload all my papers there. I just published an article in the the Parapsychological Association Minefield Bulletin, where I talk about PSI and the childbirthing experience. So I am creating research. I just don't want my whole life to be engulfed in that research. And plus, I'm like, I get to be myself, but not my full self. And I'm looking for a space to just fully exist. So I pick here. I pick here. So that may look like me doing yoga. It may look like me doing meditation, a sound healing, a talk about research, ranting about parents. It's open dialogues. I can do whatever I want in this space, in this place. So if you see this video and you vibe with me personally, you sticking for the vibes. Not the content, the vibes. So anyway, I wanted to pop up on here and just shoot the breeze with y'all. Use this video as a check-in. My baby is 5 months old. My toddler is about to go to school. I'm writing another book. 1 year until dissertation. Just a lot of things are happening. There's just so much transition happening in my life. And I keep my emotional support blanket with me at all times. Matter of fact, I'm going to print an emotional support blanket so that way I can just fully exist like this at all times. Just life is lifing, and sometimes I just need a physical comfort that is not food and ice cream, because that too has been my emotional security blanket that I am not proud of. So this leads me into what I guess I want to talk about. It's balance. So if you are someone who is spiritually, emotionally, energetically heightened, sensitive, I like the word sensitive better. If you are someone who is sensitive to subtle energies outside of what exists in this 3D plane, how are y'all getting through this huge shift? It's been quite much. I will walk around just like la 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 la. My son's gonna pop in, and this space, I mean, hey, it is what it is. He's coming in right now, but I'll exist like la 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 la, and then the next day I'm like la 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 la, and adding on parenting to that la la la's to the plate. I've just been like real moving. So balance. How do I help myself stay balanced in this time? I'm tending to my garden, which I got a whole little baby cherry tomato growing from my plants that I germinated from grocery store tomatoes. And I'm really reaping plant wisdom. Like, plants are so wise. And the thing with me and changing, I just mentioned like me finding comfort in food or whatever. When I want to change, I observe it, I understand it, I learn it. And there's kind of like a cyclical wheel that I go through. And there's like always a breaking point. It's a very thin window that I can hop off the bus, hop off the cycle of whatever it is I'm on, and I can begin to integrate something else. So I'm almost at the end of this cycle, and plant wisdom has really been talking to me. I'm looking at the regenerative properties of plants. Like I had some green onions I cut, saved, put them in water jars. They're growing, growing, growing. I'm like, I love that. And imagine what that's doing to the body, to eat something living, to regenerate. And I look at the meat I'm eating, deep fried and, all other stuff. And I'm like, this is not healthy. Like, I already know that, but it's dead. Like, you kill a cow, the cow don't come back alive. It's done. You cut off a tomato plant, the tomato seeds. This is how this is so poetic. The one tomato plant has the DNA of its ancestors and the DNA of all future generations in a single seed. I'm like, if that ain't tough, I don't know what is. And I really want, I've been manifesting, petitioning, writing. I'm like strategizing and trying to implement systems to help me make this long lasting change. Because I want that in my cells. I want that in my body. I want to live that. I think that, we are living that. The fact that sperm and egg, we have all the stories and energy from past generations, and the same breath future ones. So I want to align with things that align with that reality. And I just want to eat and live more intentionally. So I've been reaping the wisdom from my garden. I'm getting some harvest. And it's always like, it always happens when I'm not looking. There's so much wisdom in plants. When I first planted my garden, I was like hyper vigilant. I was like, where is it? Where's the fruit? Where's the production? And I removed that energy from my plants and stepped back and just enjoyed getting my hands dirty, enjoyed the daily ritual of going out to my garden and watering it and speaking love and being outside, being available for my spirit guides to reach me, because they be on my daggone window. Like the people like, we're trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty. You think I'm joking? I am not. I'm on the second floor. They will hang on to the screen and they'll be doing this. I see you, boo. Yes, I'll be outside shortly. They're like, you need to go outside and touch grass. But anyway, I'm finding real wisdom, joy, and just peace with tending to my garden, the ritual of gardening. I had this whole realization. I was like, hold up. I just integrated a whole new hobby and didn't even realize it. Typically, I'm like, let me go do this hobby. The last hobby I did before becoming pregnant was pole dancing, and I think that's how I got pregnant in the first place, as quiet as it's kept. Okay. But I was enjoying it, and I was doing skateboarding, and I was like, yeah, this is dope. Now I'm a real cutesy woman. Okay. I don't like falling, and I don't like scuffing up my knees, and that's exactly what was happening with the skateboarding. So I enjoyed the freedom of skateboarding, did not like the pain of skateboarding. But the child is, I'm telling you, if I could just shift for just a second, the toddler stage comes in waves, and the waves hit like tsunamis. Is real raggedy in these parts with the toddler phase. He coming right now. All right. Okay, so back to what I was saying. That was just one of the ways that I was integrating balance into my life, was going and tending to the garden. I've been exercising, doing yoga, but I was doing it so hard in June that it became restrictive. Like I, something that was once enjoyable quickly became monotonous and just laborious, honestly. And I lost like 8 pounds from it, but I also lost a sense of freedom in the process. So I'm like, okay, what did I learn from it? Flip it and reverse it and apply it to the next one. I know I want to make a lifestyle change. I know I want to juice in the morning. I know I want to have sea moss because I enjoy it. I want to give my children sea moss and herb baths. Like there's things that I want to do, but I also know how to work with myself. And if I want to cultivate more balance, I have to work with the natural cycles in place. And something I definitely have gotten really good at is identifying where I am on the cycle. So this helped me when I stopped smoking because it took me 7 years to fully stop. Like I don't have any cravings, like I'm done. And with that, each time I stopped, like if I stopped while I was in the middle of a cycle, the likelihood I was going to pick it back up the next day was higher versus if I just allow myself to do it and then I noticed there's a slow waning, like, oh my God, I'll do it tomorrow, da da da. Like I would begin to putting it off. That's when I got on it. That's when I started working with the energy. Like, okay, let's put things in place. Let's put some systems in place to deter you. Da da da. And slowly but surely, every time I stopped, the duration got longer and longer and longer until eventually I'm just like, I don't need this anymore. Like I don't, it doesn't align with me anymore. And I'm really proud of that because for the longest time, I just didn't feel like I would ever stop. And so I like that's such a huge accomplishment for me. And I know me going through that and me knowing myself now, I'm able to identify like even with my food, my eating and wanting to cultivate a more balanced and healthy relationship with my body and my food, I'm recognizing like, okay, one, the old way I'm doing things is something that I'm outgrowing. Two, I know that there's a cycle happening, and that if I just be patient with myself and just watch, I'm going to be able to jump in and work with the energy. Three, if I integrate healthy alternatives or healthy things while I'm still doing everything else, while I'm still eating chicken tenders and ice cream, the likelihood of that energy starting to slow, to wane, and then that can move the energy back around. If you can imagine like those like little wheels they had at the carnival, or it's like the turbo whirl, like imagine something spinning so fast like this, like a pattern, and then you're trying to stop it and go take it the other way. First of all, you got to slow the thing down from its oscillation or its spinning, and then switch trajectory. And that's exactly what it feels like when I'm changing habits. So I'm learning to work with myself, not beat myself up as I cultivate more balance and figuring out what does balance look like for me today, right now, with two kids, going to school, doing all that I'm doing. What does balance look like to me? Because balance for me now did not look like balance for me a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It really doesn't. So I'm really integrating that in something that I am doing. I am moving into more teaching realms to discuss balance because although I'm figuring out what balance means to me now, I found balance several times, emotional balance, spiritual balance. Like I found balance in other realms, and now I feel like I'm finding balance physically. I'm understanding what does that mean for me physically. Does it look like overworking? Does it look like overeating? Does it look like eating unhealthily? Like I'm understanding where I'm at physical. This is the chapter for me is physicality. So I'm having a lot of fun. So I have figured out how to cultivate balance before. And so I'm teaching people how to cultivate spiritual and emotional balance, things that I have mastered while I am still in that student realm of figuring out physical balance. I think it's beautiful, just like the tomato seed. Like you could be multiple things at a single time. And if for people like looking at my tomato seed, like, girl, me. Me has the the DNA of past ancestors and the DNA of future ancestors. Yes and no. Like in a single egg, like you could kill the cow, but you can't keep the egg. I mean, with science, yes. Keep the egg and then plant the egg and it's gonna grow. No, 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 ma'am. You gotta do things, you gotta manipulate it. I'm talking about straight out the womb, not the womb, straight out the dead tomato. Cause you cut it, it's dead. But the seeds, you could dry the seeds, you can plant them years down the line and they'll still grow and they'll still continue that lineage. And I think that's just so beautiful and so poetic. So that's the type of time I'm trying to be on. I'm not gonna keep y'all long, okay? I just wanted to come up on here and say, hey, I'm alive. Hey, I'm still doing research. Maybe not here. Maybe we'll see. And if you just want to vibe with me on a different level, then vibe with me on this level of just like me popping up. I post more consistently on TikTok. You can follow me there at House of Yodi, I think. I'm like on Instagram, kinda. I like TikTok because the vibe. The vibe is cool. And I also like YouTube, but I really felt like I sure did say I was going to release this full series and I didn't do it. I shouldn't show my face anymore. But here I am, so it is what it is. So anyway, please follow your girl, check out the projects, and I'm gonna put this out here. I'm planting seeds, okay? If you can catch the drift. This is a book that I had published a year ago. Had it on digital content. Now I'm working on getting it in physical content or physical form. And I mean, sis is beautiful. Like looking at this book in real life, bound, I'm like, I really did the daggone thing. I wrote and I produced this when I was grieving the passing of my father. And so for me, this is super special. This is very, very special for me because it was a way for me to balance myself and transmute my energy in a loving way for myself, but also to just offer it up to the world and for others. So I say that to say, I need some assistance. I really, really would love to get this with a publishing company. I am feeling overwhelmed with pitching to publishing companies amidst everything else that I'm doing. So I figured the best thing I could do is use my voice and let people know, like, hey, I really would love some help. If you know someone who's a publisher, if you are a publisher or part of a publishing company, please let's connect. Let's just talk to see if this is something that aligns with the brand or what have you, because this is really good work. And I tried the self-publishing route. And like I said, I wrote this by myself. The price is at 39, and I want to keep it at a price that's fair for everyone, but also to where I am being reciprocated in the energy that I put out. If I do the self-publish route, I'm going to get like think it's like $6 or $7 from 39.99. It costs $8 to produce. So you do the math, okay? So I just want and also I want it to be out there in like Barnes and Nobles, Twigs, like bookstores, black-owned bookstores. I want it to be out in the world flourishing. So if you've stayed to this video this long and you are still here, first of all, you a real one. Thank you. And then two, if you know of anyone who could assist in this, please let me know. I would absolutely love to do that. Please check out my links in my description box. I got some podcast episodes. I did only four with Allison. It's pretty good. We do the podcast sparingly. It's just whenever the wind blows. Updated research. You can find me all around. And I got no products up there too. So check me out, y'all. I'll see y'all when the wind blows me back in. Bye.